Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Hoodie Priestess Tarot. I'm Jodine, your host. Let's do a reading for you today. I have brand new decks. These are both brand new decks, and I'm so excited to share them. We'll start out with an oracle from the Urban Crow Oracle. It's one of my favorite oracle decks of all time. This is a deck that I did own for a long time, and I've just replaced it. And then after that, we'll do a Celtic cross reading from the Tarot of the Great Outdoors. And this is just a beautiful deck, and it's based on our country's national parks. And it pretty much follows the Rider-Waite-Smith interpretations of the card. Let's see what Urban Crow has for you. Thank you. For Gemini, we have community. Isn't that beautiful? Red poppies. All those crows. I live in a town where there's a lot of crows. Rochester is always up to all these weird antics to get rid of crows. They like shoot off explosive big banging noises to drive them out of the city. They have these recordings of crow distress calls that they play so that the crows will run away. Oh, they've been battling crows for a long time here. I love crows. Okay, so for community, it says, here in the Seattle area, we have 3 big roosts. The largest, I believe, is the one at the UW Bothell campus. Each of these roosts serves a community. It is a sanctuary. It is a place for the crows to retreat. It's a place where they retreat in the evening, where they are accepted and comforted. Lean on your community. Lean into the groups of people who you feel the most at peace with during times of friction and stress. When you pull community, think of it as a nudge to connect with a group that interests you. Not only will you find new opportunities there, you will become part of a group focused on a similar goal. Community may also indicate that you would benefit from examining your relationships within a group or belief system. Are your goals and beliefs in alignment with the group's philosophy? Do you remain within a community because it is simply part of your history, but your involvement or participation is limited, and as a result you feel disconnected? You may need to consider if the philosophy of a community that you no longer connect with is still impacting your decisions or your perception of events. Okay. Now, if my hands look rough, it's because I've been working. You may have heard me mention before that I'm a flower merchandiser, and we're getting ready for Mother's Day, so there is a lot of cleaning and arranging of flowers and snipping stems, pulling off leaves, making sure water is clean, cleaning display cases. Okay, now this is for Gemini. One more good shuffle and we will lay out the Celtic cross. Very slippery cards, brand new. Okay, Gemini, this is you. The 2 of Vessels, nice. So that would be like 2 of Cups. And what crosses you is the 8 of Sticks, Oh, it's the Knight of Sticks. Sorry, not the Eight of Sticks. The Knight of Sticks. In the past, we have the Four of Blades. A couple nice relationship cards here. In the future, the Chariot. What you do know is the Page of Vessels. What you don't know is the World. How you see yourself. Death. You must see yourself in a state of transformation, Gemini. And how others see you. Three of Blades. Your hopes and your fears. Got lots of threes here. So the Three of Stones. Got 33 going on. Impossible outcome. The Magician. I had the Magician for my own personal reading as the possible outcome too. What's on the bottom of the deck? Six of Blades. All right, Gemini, so there's your cards. Very nice. Hi, Gemini. I tried to rearrange these cards on the table a little bit so that they would show as best as I can get them to show. But let's talk about your reading. So here's you. You know, the Two of Vessels, you're seeing yourself as somebody who's, you're relationship focused. So you draw a lot of meaning in your life from the relationships that you're in. And it looks like you've been in a pretty solid relationship. And it looks like you are pretty happy. And, but what's crossing you now is the Knight of Sticks. And the Knight of Sticks is an adventurous one. If I think about somebody who does extreme sports or just somebody who is high energy, this looks like something you'd like to do is go out and explore, go out and have adventures. And so here in the past, you've had a really solid relationship that was steady and dependable, and something that was a solid foundation in your life. But it looks like new things are coming in. Look at the background. New people are coming in. There's even more people up here, and I'm wondering if something has changed and new people are entering your life and you're getting new ideas about things you'd like to go out and do, or new people that you're meeting. And I'm wondering if your partner wants to go and do those things with you, or if they'd like to hang back, because that's the past. And here in the future, we've got the Chariot. And what is the Chariot? You know, the Chariot is movement. It's like getting everything lined up, getting everything balanced, getting all your ducks in a row, being clear on where you want to go. And once you've got all of that balanced out, then you can get going, take off, adventure, travel. The Chariot is a vehicle. It might be hard to get it started. It might be stuck and in inertia. But once it gets going, you can't hold it back. So I see you on the verge of really making changes in your life. And I think it's going to mean maybe leaving somebody behind. I wonder if that's what you're thinking of, because here we have the thing that you know is the Page of Vessels. And the Page of Vessels can show up when we're getting ready to tell somebody that we're sorry for something. It can show up also if we're getting ready to give or receive advice. And what's interesting about this card is that so many of the characters in it could be the Page of Vessels. You're left to interpret that on your own. Are these turtles? Is this relationship of the turtles? Is there an apology being made between two? Is this one out here giving instruction? Is that the Page of Vessels? Is the Page of Vessels here to introduce a new opportunity or a new adventure, occupation, goal in life of the day? What are they doing? They're getting ready to do something. So that's what you know about. What you don't know about, though, is the world. And boy, there's a lot of ways to see this, and there's a lot of Geminis too. So let's just talk about that. The world can be the end of a cycle. Okay, and so when I look at the relationship you've been in, stable, long-standing, solid foundation, but now we want to do something, be more adventurous. Maybe new people are coming into our lives. We're getting ourselves ready to pack up and go. So are we ending the cycle here with someone? Are we beginning a whole new cycle? Both of these things can be in this card. Are we headed out into the world? Are we going to travel? Have something to do with world events. Are you involved in some sort of occupation where world events would take you away from your partner and your home because you have to travel somewhere and do something? Maybe there are people who are in need. Maybe you're providing service. So I moved these around a little bit so they would be more in the camera view, but this is how you see yourself. You're ending something, or something in your life is changing. You're in a state of change, or something in your life is changing to the point where it's going to bring an end to something else. Maybe an end to a living relationship, or that sounds weird, like an end to, like moving house, or moving country, or the end of a relationship. Or for some of you, somebody could be dying. You could be losing a partner due to death. Or some of you may be dealing with passing, going to the next place in life. So that's how you see yourself, and how others see you is the Three of Blades. Now, I think for some of you too, you are leaving one relationship to maybe start another. I think there may be another person on the scene coming in, and you're thinking that maybe you want to have a relationship with them, maybe leave one relationship and start another. Somebody's in the background here. So that's how you see yourself. That's how others see you. Your hopes and fears. There's a new opportunity. Look closely at this card. It's two people who look very comfortable together. but a new opportunity is coming in. And I have a feeling this opportunity is going to change these two people's lives. Now, it could be another person coming in, or it could be, like I said, work, travel. I just keep seeing travel. There's a lot of travel here, especially with the Chariot. And what's the possible outcome? Then we have the Magician. This is the creation of a whole new life. And it's something you're going to create for yourself. So this is a time too where one way or another you're going to be faced with a situation where you're going to create a new life. So what's going to be in it and who's going to be in it? And I do not see a lot of cards of grief here. I did note that somebody could be dying or leaving, but I also want to note I am not seeing the presence of like the Five of Cups. I'm not seeing the presence of a card that would indicate ill health, like the Five of Pentacles or the Four of Swords. Hi, Gemini. I need to cut in to this video because as I'm playing it back and editing it, I had just got done saying there's no Four of Swords here indicating ill health. And then I realized, yes, indeed, the Four of Swords is here. Now, the Four of Swords can indicate ill health, but it's most known for being a deep and meditative state. If you were pulling this card out in a reading that was specifically about health, you might interpret this as ill health. In just a general reading, it can be deep thought, meditation, deep spirituality, but really giving something a good going over because you're in the process of making a decision or going through some kind of change in your life that requires a lot of thought. So if we're talking about, possibly having a partner or you yourself transferring from one state of life to the other, this card might support that. But that's our life, and that's the reality of our lives when we all have to deal with that. Certainly, as somebody who's aging myself, I know that it's quite normal for me to think about those things and also for other people who are my own age. So I just wanted to say that, and now I will pop back out. And on the bottom of the deck here, we have the Six of Blades. Again, somebody is preparing. It's just, preparing for a new terrain, a new place, a new occupation. It's travel. There's packing being done. Gemini, I also want to add that the Empress card is not on the table, but we could be looking at a pregnancy in this reading. There's a lot of Geminis, and you're all doing different things, but your life, your relationship could be transformed by the coming of a new person. There's a lot of, you could interpret this card more than one way. You could interpret somebody being left behind in a relationship, or you could interpret as somebody coming in. And if a baby did come in, if the new thing coming in is a child, that would definitely be a new creation between you and your partner. And it would totally transform the way the two of you experience your relationship. It would be, I know it sounds weird, but it would be the death of your relationship that was exclusively between the two of you. And the beginning of a relationship of three. I think there's enough cards here to support that. You know, and when we're dealing with a collective of people, we're dealing with people who are in all different phases of life. Some are saying goodbye to each other because one is going to pass away. Some are going to be, you know, maybe leaving one partner and taking on another, or maybe leaving a partner to go do some work. Maybe the partners do not see things the same way anymore. Maybe they've been together for a length of time to where their priorities in life have changed and their goals and what fulfills them has changed. You know, we started out with this card about thinking about your community, thinking about your relationships. Are you still all pulling in the same direction, or are you going in that direction because it's a long established habit, but you don't really feel that way anymore? It's a good oracle card for this reading, by the way. And then for others of you, it could be a new baby coming in. We do have a page on the table. This is in the position of the thing you know about, and there are children here. It looks like a family situation. What is this caution? Can I get it to focus? Is there a caution tape there? It's probably something that I will be able to see better when I'm not looking through the camera. Such an interesting reading, Gemini. Indeed, I did. All kinds of surprises in this reading and things I didn't expect. It's probably not going to work in the camera, but I want you to know I did get out my magnifying glass, which is what I have to do with my eyes the way they are. But do you know what that caution tape is? That's keeping people out because it's a nesting area. It's a turtle nesting area, I think. It's what it says. So yeah, there's support here for a new baby. All right, popping back out again. Even the Chariot card. Hard to get it going. You know, I said that, hard to get it going, but once it's moving, there's no stopping it, like a pregnancy. If this is your first child, it's definitely a new adventure, I'll tell you that. Brace yourself. Yeah. Gemini, I just want to point out that your reading contains 2 3s. So you've got 33 here, and numerologically, 33 is the Christed energy. It's the energy of compassion. Compassion for other people, compassion for the world. And this is one of the reasons why I thought your work might be calling you out into the world. We also had the World card. You may be going to a place where people need compassionate service of one form or another. Or you may be with a partner who's doing that. Maybe the partner is leaving you. You could be the one leaving the partner. They could be the one leaving you. But yeah, I just did want to talk about the number of 33. So I guess in conclusion, Gemini, that's what it all comes down to. A pile of cards and a cup of coffee and a crumpled up chocolate bar wrapper and a magnifying glass. And that's what I have for you this week. And I will be... And I thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again. Thanks, Gemini. Have an excellent week. Bye-bye.